Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another class on verbling.com with teacher Abby. It's 9 o'clock in the morning here in Vernon, BC, and it's chilly, but it's going to be hot today, so I'm looking forward to seeing you guys today. We're going to have a good discussion about languages in contemporary America, and we're going to start the conversation by talking about different languages and cultures that you see within your own country. So it should be very, very interesting. Let's welcome everybody to the class. Hi, Ali. Welcome back.
Hi, Abby. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you for asking. I'm doing very well. Hey, Andre.
Hi, Abby.
Good to see you. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm a little bit sore today. But I'm okay.
Okay. It's good. It's good.
Yes, it is. It's a good thing. You're right.
Yeah.
Is it Ibrahim? Ibrahim, welcome to the class. Your microphone is muted, so I can't hear you. Okay, let's say hello to Michael.
Hey, Miss Abby. How are you?
Oh, Michael, you're a man after my heart. I don't know why I love that.
Miss Abby or what?
Yes, I like it better than Teacher Abby.
Miss Abby. Miss Abby. Mrs. Abby. No, I'll call you Abby, just Abby.
Oh, well, that's not very fun, is it?
Why? That's okay. If you don't like Teacher Abby, it will be just Abby.
Okay. Thank you for coming back, Michael. It's good to see you.
Thanks, Abby.
Anatoly, welcome back.
Hello, thank you.
Good to see you again. How are you feeling today?
Today is a hot day here in Moscow where I live.
What's the temperature?
The temperature near 30 degrees in Celsius.
Wow, that is getting nice and warm. I think
Yeah.
today here it's supposed to be 37 degrees. So after my classes today, I will be going straight to the beach. That's my
You're
plan for
lucky.
today. Mateo, welcome back. Good to see you again.
Hi, Abby.
Hello.
Hello.
And who do we have here? Mauricio, welcome to the class.
Hello, how are you?
Very good. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great. And you?
Good. It's good to have you. I'm feeling pretty good today. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining me. Where are you from?
I'm from Argentina.
From
I'm new
Argentina.
to Verbling. This
Yeah,
is
I
one of
think
my
this is
first classes.
wonderful. Yeah, I was going to say I think this is your first time in my class, but it's nice to meet you, Mauricio. Thanks for joining. Happy to have you. Ibrahim, how's your connection going? Are you able to hear me or respond with your microphone?
Yes, yes, I'm hearing you now.
Wonderful.
Sorry for the connection. Yeah.
That's okay.
How are you?
I'm pretty good. Thank you for asking.
This is my first class with you.
I
Nice to meet
noticed.
you.
Where are you from?
Egypt.
From Egypt. Very
You can
nice.
hear me?
I
Yeah.
can hear you. There's a lot of noise
Okay.
in your background, but I can hear you.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you for joining us today. And I think that's everybody. Yeah, there's no room because we've got 3 Ibrahims. There we go. Perfect. Calcio, nice to see you in the chat. 8 degrees. That sounds mighty cold. A little bit too cold for my liking. But nice to have you in the chat with us. So today's topic is about languages in contemporary America. To start our discussion, I want you to tell me about your country. So tell me what other languages are spoken in your country and what group of people commonly immigrate or come to your country to live. Let's start with Matteo. Tell me about what cultures, languages, and people do you see in Italy?
You asked me what kind culture, language, and people in my country.
Exactly. Besides Italians, who
Ah,
else lives there?
other. Okay, okay. Other Italian. In my
Exactly.
country,
Who lives there?
unfortunately, in my country, have a big problem immigration, and for this, here there are uh, a lot of culture. Uh, some no, a lot of culture, any kind culture, South Europe
Southern
and,
Europe? Okay.
South Europe and East Europe.
Okay.
For example, uh, Romania, Bulgaria, Slovakia.
Okay.
Okay. And the North Africa, the part of North Africa.
Very good. Thank you for sharing that with us. Very nice. And what about you, Mauricio? What other cultures or languages do you see in your country, in Argentina?
And I don't know. I live in Rio Cuarto. It's a small city.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go to Buenos Aires, and maybe you could see many Brazilians, and I don't know, some people from the United States come to Buenos Aires sometimes. I don't know, I don't see very often too many people that speak English, but there are people, and and I don't know what else.
Okay, that's good. So why do you think people from Brazil come over into Argentina? Why do you think they do that?
And I don't know, maybe because the countries are close, and
Mhm.
maybe the city is nice to live, and I don't know. Actually, I don't know. There are some reasons that I think of.
Okay, thank you for sharing that with us. Michael, what about your country? What other people do you see often coming?
Well, people all around the world, like I mean, all nations. But
And,
what?
and tell me why you think they come.
I don't know, to study, to work, maybe to um, other reasons they have. So I didn't like make any research, like in particular, how many, what percentage of people comes for what, like. But I think for work, for example, neighbor countries, they come there for work.
Okay, very good. Mostly for working purposes. Tell us
Yeah.
about you, Ibrahim. Who comes to your country and what languages do they speak?
Okay, I'm from Egypt. Egypt is located in the Middle East, so most of countries is speaking Arabic. So the native language of us speaking is Arabic. I think also there is the second language in Egypt is English, and a lot of jobs here in Egypt also require French speakers. So I think the three languages required here in Egypt, or the three language is common: Arabic and English and French.
Interesting.
That's yeah.
And why do you think people
So
come from other countries to live in Egypt?
no, I don't think so. Now Egypt is in bad situation, but I think in the future they will travel to Egypt. I think Egypt is most famous of its pharaonic culture, or pharaonic civilizations.
Mm-hmm.
So here in Egypt we have a lot of museums and temples and pyramids and a lot of historical places you can visit in Egypt. So it's famous of all these places. So most of tourists come to Egypt to see these places.
Okay, thank you for sharing. Really good. What about you, Andre?
Thank you.
What do you notice in your local area?
I notice many people from Central Asia
Mm-hmm.
and ex-Soviet countries, Ukraine and Belarus. And the main reason they go here is to work, of course, and the so because they are ready to work for a lower salary, so they have a success here, I guess, because local population is sometimes is not ready to work for that salary.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for sharing those details with us. Anatoly, do you have anything to add about who visits your country or who you see in your local community?
I agree with the previous opinion about that in my country, in Russia, lots of people are working from neighbors countries. Personally, I live below my flat, for example, Georgian cafe restaurant from Georgia,
Mm-hmm.
and also when I have sport exercise on the riding on the bicycle, I often heard English language. Lots of people are running, are riding, who communicate in English, and in subway also lots of people, as I noticed, use English. But Moscow, it is very big city, and it is popular tourist destination. We can meet here, I think, people from around the world. Lots of people from Japan, from Italy, and other countries.
Wonderful. And what about you, Ali, in Turkey? What kind of cultures or languages do you see?
Yeah, in my country, there are a lot of different languages and countries, cultures, because it's a multicultural country. After the Ottoman Empire, uh, many different people located in my country. For example, Kurdish language, two different dialects spoken in my country, Kurdish dialect,
Mm-hmm.
Arabic. Some people came from, how to say, near Russia, Caucasia, or what is the name? I don't know. Maybe Michael know.
I
Near,
don't know in English exactly. Caucas or
yeah,
Caucasian?
different Caucasus people from Georgia or like these countries, and many Arabic people live in my country, and some Armenian people.
Mm-hmm.
They speak Armenian language, and people from Greece. Uh, uh, they are speaking. I don't know. Latin or Greek language.
Greek. Greek.
Greek, yeah, and
Okay.
some different languages from East Europe or Balkany. I don't know how to say.
Balkans.
Balkans, yeah.
Wonderful. So it sounds like everybody comes from countries where there's a multilingual atmosphere. Obviously in Canada, it's just Canada is a melting pot of cultures. We have the local languages of Native Canadians, like Cree and Blackfoot, different tribal tongues.
Yeah. But
And we have
most of language is losing nowadays. I think assimilating by the government. Only Kurdish language is very common because very huge population in Turkey.
okay.
That's why Kurdish language can't assimilate it still.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that with us, Ali. So we're gonna
Can
get
you
in.
finish the idea, Abby? You were talking that you have like local languages that.
Yeah, I was just saying that with Canada, it's tricky because Canada is a melting pot of cultures, right? Like we just have everybody that's come over from Europe. But I would say the most common would be like Ukrainian, Russian, and Indian, like different people from India. They speak Punjabi.
And do you have like in Canada such a thing that, for example, local companies they speak mostly only in another language, not in
No.
English, and mostly they serve like those nationalities.
Maybe, you know what, Michael? I'm sure they exist, but they would just be tiny, like ma and pa type businesses. No big companies that I can think of off the top of my head. Most of them would be in English.
But in
Except for
US,
French, French Canada, that would be different.
oh, Quebec. But in the US, there you could find like lots of businesses that speak only one language, that speak like
Yes,
another
Spanish.
language. Then
Exactly, mostly in
not
Spanish.
Spanish, like Russian, this kind of. They have like local businesses and serve only like those kind of clients. They mostly speak only Russian, like for example.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I think probably though Spanish is the most common language in the United States, secondary to English
Yeah.
for sure. But yeah, you're right. There's localized shops in Canada, less common, but it definitely exists. Like my grandfather, he goes and he has people that he does business with that everything's in Russian. So I mean, it does happen.
Okay.
Mateo?
I have a question for you. In Canada, there are in United States called the Native American population. Also in Canada, there are Native Canadian.
Or First Nations, we call them.
And where are living these people?
Right there.
Okay, no, the organized the Canada country, how organized these people?
They are welcome to live anywhere they want. However, if they want to live on tax-free land, they have to live on something called a reservation, which is a piece of land that the government has given to them. They can live outside of that, but if they live outside of that, they have to pay land tax. So most of them choose to live on the reserve, and it's usually far away from the city, and it's usually beautiful land, but it's far away from
it's the same United States. United States is same. Reservation, no tax. Okay.
Okay,
Thank
good
you.
question.
Thank you.
So let's say hello to Mustafa. Hi, Mustafa. Welcome to the class.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing very good. Thank you for joining me. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too.
We're going to be reading a little bit now, so I'm going to share my screen with you guys. And 1 second here. We're going to learn a little bit more about this in our reading. Okay. I think we've covered all of the warm-up questions here. What is the primary language in the U.S.? What other languages are there? And it seems like everybody comes from a multilingual, multicultural country. Correct? Any questions before we get started with our reading? Okay, let's go ahead and get started, and we will have Mustafa read the first part for us, the first highlighted part.
Okay. Every 10 years, the U.S. Census Bureau has a census. A census is a survey of the citizens in a country. The census show with different kinds of information about the population and how it changes or stays the same over the years. The Census Bureau who send these questionnaires to every home in the country.
Thank you, Mustafa. Thank you very much. I need you to repeat a couple words for me, okay? We're going to practice saying census.
Census. Yes.
There you go. And bureau.
Bureau.
Right, a section of the government. Any questions on the vocabulary for that first part there?
Census, what does mean census? Bureau.
Okay, a census, well, first of all, a bureau is any office or department that has a business. Okay, so it could be maybe a newspaper company, or it could be a section of the government. A census is like a survey where people go and they ask the same questions to every family to try to learn about the demographics of their country. Okay, Michael, could you finish that paragraph off for us?
Okay. Okay.
A questionnaire is a list of questions for people to answer. When they finish answering the questions, people send the questionnaire back to the Census Bureau. How do you pronounce? Bureau in Washington, D.C., where they analyze the results. This way, the government can get information about the country's citizens and their lives.
Hear you, Michael. Seems like your connection might be going.
Are you sure?
Okay, now I hear you.
Let me. Where did I stop?
Where they analyze the results.
Where's that? Okay. This way, the government can get information about the country's citizens and their lives.
Okay, thank you. Good job. So can you repeat questionnaire?
Questionnaire.
Perfect. And citizens?
Citizens. Citizens.
And you can say bureau one more time.
Bureau. Bureau.
Okay, so it's like B and then U. Bureau.
Bureau.
Perfect. There you go. Golden.
Bureau.
Okay, anyone have a question or a comment about any of the words in this first paragraph? Anybody have a question or a comment? Let's talk about a census. What do you think is the purpose of conducting a census? What do you guys think? Anatoly, what do you think is the purpose of conducting a census?
The purpose to know about which resources are necessary for that area.
Excellent. Good example, Anatoly, to understand what resources are necessary. What do you think, Mauricio? Anything else that you could think of? Maybe what questions would you typically see on a census? What questions, Mauricio, would you typically see on a census? And you're muted, just so you know I cannot hear you. Oh, seems like there's a connection problem there. Mateo, what questions would you see on a census?
Sorry. What question?
Yes. Should everybody stand up and do some jumping jacks? What questions would you typically see on a census?
Okay.
What's your nationality? How many people in your family?
There's a good one. How many people live in this household? First
Yeah.
question.
What's your nationality?
What's your religion?
Why?
Religion, nationality. How many people live here? Come on, you guys,
Age.
give me some more. Your age, perfect.
Sex.
What else? Your sex, your
Marital
gender.
status.
Employment
Marital
and
status.
unemployment.
Very good. Your employment or lack thereof. What else?
Oh, also marital status.
Sorry,
Children, adult.
Marital
Are
status.
you married or not?
thank you, Ibrahim. Yes, your marital status. Marital status.
Yeah.
Single, married, divorced, widowed.
Children, adult.
Very good. How many children you have? Beautiful. See, now we're waking up. I've been up since 5:30. I want you guys to be wide awake for me.
About education, maybe.
Education. Yeah, your educational background. Good one. Educational background. Perfect. Anyone had a census or a survey done recently?
What? I couldn't hear.
Has anybody had a survey or a census done recently that you've participated in?
No.
I don't think it's very common. I think the last time I had a survey or a census done, I was in the Dominican Republic, and they asked me how many televisions I had, and I think that they might have not been legitimate.
Why did you?
Because they wanted to know how many valuable things I had in my house.
No, it's not because of that. I think because they estimated by that they like find out if how many poor people. So basically, if you have a TV, like if you have something else, you're not poor anymore. Basically, I've heard something like that.
I think here in Egypt, can I speak?
Yes, of course you can. Please do.
Yes, I think here in Egypt there is a request for support from families to government. So every family should fill an application or request for support. Okay, just a second, please. Okay.
What happened? Did Ibrahim leave us?
No, he has something to do. Yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
Oh, he's having a party. That's why.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
We hear you. Next time, invite
I'm
us to your
sorry.
party.
Okay.
beer.
Can I complete my
Yes, please
talk?
do. Go ahead.
Yes, here in Egypt, every family should fill a request for support from the government. So the government should give support to every poor family, support like food and drinks, and that's like the life supplies. So every family should fill an application to the government, so the government should give them the food and drinks. So I think that kind of questionnaires or kind of questions that the government uh, ask the families to fill.
Interesting. Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right,
Yeah.
Ibrahim. Mateo.
And in United States, I know they used to make a survey before buy a new homes.
Okay. A survey before they buy a new home.
In Canada is same.
I think so, yeah. A census would be way more general than that, but you're right. There are types of surveys or censuses for people that are about to purchase a home. Of course.
Yes. In my country, government sometimes want to take this kind of information, but people don't trust the government usually, and not give true information, because sometimes it could be dangerous about your ethnicity or your religion. If you say the truth, maybe in the future it could be a danger for you. I think.
What kind
Okay.
of danger if you say that you are another ethnicity or religion? What could happen?
For example, right now in my country there is a Kurdish problem. There is a kind of a war between Kurdish people and the government or army. Maybe 15 years ago, 20 years ago, it was dangerous to say I am Kurdish or something like that. Government don't like it. They accept you a kind of potential terrorist, something like
Okay.
that. And people afraid to say I am Kurdish in the public, you know.
Okay.
And some religions government don't like sometimes. People hide your religion or your they, their beliefs sometimes. Yeah, not now, maybe in the past until 15 years ago or 10 years ago.
Interesting. Yeah, that's a good point, Ali. Thank you for sharing. Mauricio, can you please read the next highlighted part of the article, please?
Yes, can you hear me?
I can, perfectly.
Because I think I had some connection problems.
I think you did too,
Okay.
but we're good. Go ahead and read that next part.
According to the 2000 census, nearly 1 in 5 Americans speaks a language other than English at home. This represents about 47 million people. This statistic is 50% higher than the last decade.
Excellent, very good. You've got great reading, Mauricio. Very good pronunciation. And Mateo, could you please read the next highlighted part for us?
Okay. According to the 1990 census, about 1 in 7 people spoke a language other than English as their first language. Spanish is the most popular language after English. 28.1 million people speak Spanish as their native language. Next is Chinese. 2 million people speak Chinese as their native language.
Perfect. And can you finish it for us? Finish that paragraph for us, Ibrahim?
Next is French, 1.6 million, followed by German, 1.4 million, and Tagalog, the native language of the Philippines, 1.2 million. Other languages include Korean, Vietnamese, Hindi, Native American language, and Russian.
Very good. Russians, it made the cut, Michael. It made the cut.
Sorry?
Russian made the cut.
What does that mean? It made the cut.
It means that it got on the list. Barely, but it's on the list.
Yeah.
Oh. Well,
Okay.
it could be not correct like that in the article.
I think
I
there's
mean-
more Russians in Canada than the United States. Actually, I'm sure that there's more Russians in Canada. I think
Why do
we're
you
all
think that?
Russians in Canada. All of us.
Well, you're not really a Russian. Because
Ouch!
you don't speak Russian.
Ouch! I'm a nobody. Okay, any questions on the vocabulary for those two paragraphs? Any questions on what we've seen here in the vocabulary? What's the second most popular language in the United States, Sanjay?
It's French? Oh no, Chinese. Sorry.
No.
Spanish.
Second. Okay, after the English. Yeah.
Exactly.
Spanish.
Exactly. Why do you think that is, Andrew? Why do you think there's such a huge Spanish-speaking population in the United States?
Because of the situation of the United States near the Mexico and other Latin American countries.
Exactly, right? And why do you think they like to come to the United States, or go, I should say, to the United States?
I guess how to say, the level of life maybe is higher than in those countries. Maybe they can find a job there and and have more comfortable living there.
Yeah, exactly, right? Better jobs, perhaps they have an opportunity to make some more money. Very good. And what about Russians? Why do you think Russians head over to the United States? Anatoly, why do you think Russians like to go to the United States?
Because Russia is a very big country, and statistically, it is possible to find Russian people in every country around the world.
It's true. The Russians are everywhere.
Ask your grandparents why.
Sorry, Ali, I can't hear you. What did you say?
I mean, ask your grandparents why they went to Canada or America.
Yeah, that's it. We could do an interview with Abby's grandparents. They'd like that.
Yeah.
My grandfather's dying to come out here and look at this at my computer to see what I do. He doesn't quite understand it, I don't think.
You can show him like YouTube. Have you shown?
Yes, I've shown it to him, but he wants
And
to
what
be
did he say?
involved. He wants to be involved.
Bring him. Yeah. You can bring him also in Verbling groups.
There you go, yeah.
Maybe he can get a ticket or make membership and join the class.
Yeah, he can learn English from you, Adi, actually.
His English does need some work, actually. Now that you say it, we could probably help him a little bit.
What's his name?
Nicholas.
Nicholas, you say. Nicholas, could you repeat that word? Spanish.
Okay, that's enough about my grandfather. Let's move on to the next one. Andre, would you like to read the next highlighted part for us, please?
Yeah, people wonder about the reason for the increase in non-native speakers. The answer, of course, is more immigration to the USA. Between 1990 and 2000, there was a large increase in the number of immigrants to the USA.
Thank you very much. And could we have Anatoly read the next highlighted part for us?
During this period, Spanish-speaking population rose by 62% and the Russian-speaking population tripled.
Uh-oh. Good job, Michael. Maybe you were right. And the last paragraph.
Yeah, I know. There is like in California and New York, lots of like there's districts only Russians mostly.
Michael, why do we learn English then?
Well, because you would not, if you go there, you would not be fully integrated in that society, and the jobs are limited basically. And I don't know, if you have money, you can go there and live only with Russian. But if you want to really work there, you should speak perfect English, like Abis.
Okay, I agree.
That's why.
Okay, very good. So what's happened in the United States in the between 1990 and 2000? What happened there? Mustafa, what happened in the United States between 1990 and the year 2000? Mustafa, are you with us? Hello? Okay. Let me ask Mateo. What happened in those 10 years?
And grow up number of immigration in United States.
Okay, the number of immigrants.
Increase.
There you go. Increased immigrants. Very good. Any questions or comments on why you guys think that is? Okay, Ali, can you finish
Immigrants.
off the article for us?
Sorry, Abby. Can you ask again the question? What you asked?
I was saying, what are some of the reasons that you guys think there would have been an influx or an increase in that time period?
In the period between 1990s and 2000s? Well, because the USA is originally a country of immigrants, as Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And they have like a green card. Every year they take like 50,000 people there. And those people who immigrated by green card, they could bring their like relatives, like mother, father, like children, if they have like this kind, or brothers, sisters. So basically, they have this kind of policy that it's open for all the people from all around the world in some way, like not fully open, but.
Michael, it could be maybe a system changed in Russia or Soviet Socialist Republic. I don't know. After the 19th.
Oh, well, I don't know. That's.
Maybe there is a reason.
I don't know. If you see that correlation, it's okay. I cannot express. I cannot tell you about that. I'm not sure.
It's interesting, Ali. Thanks for sharing that with us. Hard economic situation in the 90s in Russia. Explain, Andrei.
Because as already, I think Ali said that after the crash of the USSR, there was a problem in our country. We had a very bad economical situation at that time, and many people didn't get even their salaries. I guess they was postponed in maybe in 2 months, maybe to 1 year, maybe, and maybe people immigrated at that time, I guess.
Could be, absolutely.
It was a socialist system before the 90s, right? And
yeah.
It changed maybe 89 or 90.
Yeah.
That's why I think many Russian people move to America or another country.
Yeah, right.
Perfect. Thanks for sharing. Matteo, did you have something you wanted to say?
No, a little things in the sentence during this Spanish-speaking population. What does it mean? Population rose by 62%.
So rose is the past tense of rise.
Ah, it's the verb past.
Past tense of the verb rise.
Rise,
not the flower.
I think flower.
Yeah, exactly. Not the flower.
And I think, what does it mean rise in this sentence, Bo? I don't know. Okay.
Spanish-speaking population is like a rose. They're lovely people.
Yeah.
Okay, rise rose. Okay.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Nicely done, you guys. Anyone else have a comment or a question about the vocabulary before we get into our final discussion?
I think 19 to 2000 migration, the USA is a big country, so all people from all over the world is traveling in this period to invest their money, and government can guarantee for them the good life and good salary. So in this period, I think USA is an improving country. So most of people was seeking to travel to it.
Yeah, exactly. It was a desirable place to be.
Yeah, desirable.
Okay. So let's go down to our discussion questions. We've got a list of questions that you guys are going to use to have.
I didn't read.
Oh, you didn't?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Ali, please read it for us.
Not me.
I'm sorry, Ali. Go ahead.
Okay. This population trends mean that the USA is becoming an increasingly multilingual and multicultural society. This will create a lot of challenges for many people, but ultimately it should make America a more interesting and colorful society.
Perfect. Very good. So, what do you guys think? Would you rather live in a country that is mostly just your local culture, language, people, or would you prefer to live in a multicultural society? What do you think, Mauricio? What would you prefer? What about you, Anatoly? What would you prefer, to live in a multicultural society or one-dimensional?
Hmm. It seems on the first place uh, that living in a multi cultures society more interesting and maybe it gives more opportunity for people uh, to recognize something new, to share cultural tradition, etc. But many people, and personally me, I think would prefer to live in uh, mm, mono society.
Really?
Uh, maybe it is just my personal opinion. I remember in the past I was invited for very good job in Ukraine, and my parents said and they persuaded me don't make this step, and I'm happy that I didn't make that uh, movement and I stayed in Russia and I like living here.
Interesting. Thank you for sharing that with us. Does anyone else have a different opinion? Or does anyone want to share how they feel about that? Whether you'd like to live in a place that's multicultural or has just your local people mostly?
I think for me, I prefer to live in multicultural society, so
Mm-hmm.
I can exchange the cultures, what they are thinking about us, or what we are thinking about them. So I think it's good to know new cultures, new way of thinking. Uh, you have to know a lot of methods how people think.
Absolutely, yeah. That's a good way to view things. Thanks for sharing. Speaking of multicultural.
Yes, and I like to live in a multicultural place because if you live somewhere and people has different cultures, different language, you have opportunity to learn about other language or other cultures, and you always learn new things, and it it's very good for your imagination or your creativity, something like that.
Yeah, I think so too. That's a good way of looking at it. It's funny for me, I love multicultural living when I'm in Canada, but when I travel, I prefer to see only that local culture.
Yes,
Funny how that works, isn't it?
you can think about events another way. You can get different aspects about life or about things.
Right. If I go traveling and I see a bunch of Canadians, I'm quite disappointed, actually.
Yes, especially
Why?
Sorry? Okay. Let's go down to our discussion slide. If you guys have more comments to make, you're more than welcome, but we're going to open it up to you guys to express yourself. So if you see a question on the board that you would like to answer yourself, you can go ahead and choose it and answer it, or you can choose it for another person. So let's start with Mustafa. Mustafa, can you choose one of the questions on the board and either answer it yourself, or you can ask it to another student? Mustafa.
Okay. Okay. What kind of problem would non-native speakers have in the USA?
What kinds of problems? What number is that?
Number 3.
Number 3. Okay, do you want to answer it, or would you like to ask somebody else?
Yeah, I will you answer me.
Okay, tell us your opinion.
When I'm coming from outside the USA, what a problem that will face me when I come to USA?
That's what you're asking?
Yeah.
I don't think, well, you'll have the problem of mastering the language of English. It's a challenge, not a problem. And you might face, there's sometimes people are not as open to new cultures as others, so you might face some types of prejudice. But all in all, I think that you would enjoy your experience and you would learn a lot about yourself and about the world. I think you should go to Canada, though.
Okay.
Good. Let's open it up. Who else sees a question on the board that they would like to discuss? Anybody? Go ahead and choose a question that you see, and we can talk about it.
What do you think about immigration?
That's a good question. I think immigration should be a basic human right. I think everybody should have the choice to live where they want to live. What do you guys think?
Me too.
If this happen, what will happen to the country?
It wouldn't exist.
Yeah.
Instead of being divided by countries, we would all live together as one nationality.
Yeah, all world as the one country.
Exactly. That's what I think it should
No
be like.
no different between country and other country.
Exactly. Anybody else want to share their opinion about immigration? What do you think about it?
Me, the last question.
Okay, Andre, did you say you wanted to share your opinion?
No, I just wanted to say that I agree that we need to have a freedom of choice and to choose the place where to live. Yeah, I agree.
It's not how it is it? But it would be nice.
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, the last question. Who wanted to ask the last question?
Yeah, me.
Okay, go ahead.
Why do you think so many people want to immigrate to the USA? So I think people seeking for investing money and seeking for good education and seeking for good life. So I think all that factors is attracting people to visit USA. USA is a very big country and has a lot of states. So I think it's very interesting to know to go around all these states in one country. So if every state have its law and have its rules, I think when you move to from one state to another state and know new people and new culture in one country is interesting. and no limits in these countries.
Thank you. Very good. And I think we've got time for one more. Anyone else see a question they'd like to discuss? Share their opinion on? Would anybody... I feel so sorry for those children. I have no idea what's happening to them. Does anyone else have a question here? For example, anyone in the class would like to immigrate? Who wants to come visit Canada, live here for a while? Or who wants to go to the United States or travel to a different country? I want to immigrate.
Why?
Where?
I don't know. I can't figure it out, but I just know that I would like to live somewhere else.
But why?
I don't know. I'm just not crazy about the Canadian lifestyle, I guess. It's not exciting enough for me.
And for me, I think I'd like to travel and to become a world citizen, as you say, like, right?
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. Okay, well, that is all the time that we have for our lesson today. You guys did a wonderful job. Thank you so much for coming. Any questions or comments before we close this hour?
No questions.
You guys are
No, thanks.
you were way too cool this hour. You did a good